Far Hills Avenue, then take the second right. Turn right on Donnybrook Drive.
Hello and welcome back, everyone. Today I'm on location here at Donnybrook Park, or also known as Donnybrook Fen. This is actually a fen habitat. It's a very, very small little park that's just really nestled in between this neighborhood. Like surrounding it are just all these houses and residential properties and roadways and all that. But it's just pretty neat to see this really rare, at least for Ohio, wetland or habitat in general, ecosystem. And it's just been preserved right here in the middle of this neighborhood and restored to its fullest extent, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm here for the morning. It's a nice pleasant morning out. You can see finally shedding the layers and getting to put on some short sleeve shirts, and as it warms up, and it's gonna be a pretty warm day overall. Sunlight's gonna be fairly plentiful, but there is some kind of hazy kind of clouds up in the sky, so they're probably gonna give us a little bit more time, at least a more considerable amount of time to for photography, of course. And also, well, it's just such a small location that you can cover a lot of ground pretty quickly. I'm already pretty much halfway through, honestly. You got this more gravelly path, and then obviously where the waterway and the little creek goes right through the fen here, pouring out into the springs of the fen. You got this bridge right here, and I parked all the way over here, and I guess the official entrance is over that way. And then there's a little smallest little kids playground over here too, which obviously I'm not really too concerned about at the moment. But right here, I'm just right in the middle of the wetland. And then over on this side, on this western side, they have this developed boardwalk that takes you on this small, really small loop trail, but still very beautiful and scenic nonetheless. And as you can tell, there's just lots of red-winged blackbirds just going off doing their conqueree calls and trying to establish territory. I've been seeing them kind of fight around and chase each other as they try to establish territory, of course, come spring here with migration, as it's currently underway. So yeah, it's a very, very small location, but wetlands, as I always say, are one of my favorite habitats, both for just learning nature study and also for photography. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward to this visit. This is my second visit. Once again, I've gone here I think over a year ago for pre-scouting simply, and it's one of those places that's hard to gauge how big it is based on where you park and all that. And I found pretty quickly is that it really contains a lot more than I imagined into this little area here. Lots of different bird life to see, lots of different just amphibious creatures and stuff, and it's a really neat place. And like I said, wetlands are always great, so I'm gonna make the most of this visit. And I'm thinking, depending on what happens, we might get a wide range of photography. Sorry, I'm keep looking around, but I've just seen like sparrows and stuff all of a sudden. Now I'm on this boardwalk here. But anyways, yeah, it's gonna be a nice visit, I think, and I'm looking forward to just sharing this location with you, and hopefully seeing what we can get for the day. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started and see what kind of subject matter we can find today. Like I said, an open book. It could be just a little bit about everything, I think. Maybe some plant life, some bird life, maybe even a landscape. I don't know, we'll see. So let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm not too sure what to do now. It's been about a good 30-45 minutes just kind of circling the park. Made a couple loops around the boardwalk and everything. Kind of circled around the perimeter, went around the playground area and all that. And I just didn't see much of any. I mean, there's like things there because it's like it's a wetland, it's a fen, you know. So there's tons of different, you know, just both wildlife and plant species, and you know, there's a lot going on for this morning in particular. Like I said, because it's spring, of course, but and it's not really my motivation because I'm feeling pretty motivated today to, you know, take some great photographs, I hope. But like, I just don't know what to do, photographically speaking. So like, I don't know. So I'm basically gonna keep my bag in my car here. I'm gonna take probably my telephoto, my wildlife lens. My binoculars only, you know, just have strapped on me, and then see if I can get some bird shots because I'm feeling like some birds might be in order today. Maybe just see how much luck I can get with that because I've already both heard and seen a dozen species, which is pretty good considering how small this place is of a location. And so I'm thinking this might be kind of a bird location, at least today. There's a couple that look like marsh marigolds or some kind of buttercup species that are growing. Seeing tons of I think downy leaved violets. And yeah, like a handful of other plant species and stuff like that. But you know, just doing a macro shots of those stuff I've already done previously too, certain species at least. And yeah, so I'm really just not too sure what to do. But the birds seem to be really plentiful. They're all singing, of course, because it's spring. And so I'm thinking that might be the best thing, you know, the best approach for this fen here. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and switch out my lenses and everything, get everything ready, and I'm gonna set out again into the fen and see if I can get some bird shots while the light is still sort of golden hour. It's still pretty early morning, so you know, it makes that nice kind of dynamic contrast, I think, as it, you know, makes its long shadows, and you know, hopefully it looks pretty nice, I guess, overall. So anyways, I'm gonna hope for the best, and we'll get back out there and see, you know, what we can potentially take for a photograph. So I made it to the boardwalk portion of the fen here. Just left the gravel path over here and along the creek crossing over there. And I just kind of sat down for a little bit, just kind of, you know, observing, just kind of listening to the bird song and just seeing really what I could see overall. And actually, it's funny, from this little bench I'm facing right over here, facing out this way, there's a pretty big stand of a locust tree, a honey locust tree at that. And I noticed this robin just perched right along the side of it, which is very uncharacteristic of a robin, you know, because they don't really scale up a tree like a nuthatch or a woodpecker would, of course. But yeah, this single American robin started building a nest, and it looks like it keeps seeing it back and forth and everything, building this nest on top of, if you've ever seen a honey locust tree with these like spikes that are just protruding out of it, typically on the lower half of the tree here, towards the base and the ground level. But yeah, it's about eye level, and I'm just watching this robin. Yeah, she is perched. Sorry, just started coming towards me. Yeah, this is something really cool. So I'm just at a distance here. I'm just kind of observing him build the nest and everything, and it's been kind of neat. It's been pretty neat seeing just some, you know, wildlife and animal behavior like that. So you know, since it is come spring here, and so, you know, all these birds are mating and everything. So yeah, I just think it's really cool. It's really cool. I'm not sure if I'm really gonna take a shot because it does have some harsh dramatic side lighting now that the sun's pretty high up in the sky for about mid-morning now, as I've been waiting here. But you know, I may step in a little bit closer, not too close, you know, to stress out the bird or anything, because then they might leave the nest and never come back, never return or something. But you know, I'm gonna see if I can get a little closer and see if I can really maybe hand off a shot or two. You know, might not be the best shots, but you know, it's worth something. And yeah, it's a nice little, just capture the memory in the moment of seeing this nest pretty up close too, which is neat. So yeah, I think from here I'm just gonna take a few steps forward, see if I can get some shots and maybe even some video. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, I'll get back to you on that. So we'll see in a little bit. Alright, thank you so much for watching, everyone. That's going to conclude today's video. I really didn't get much photographs of all, really, but I did get a pretty decent footage of the bird flitting back and forth and just pulling some dry grasses and stuff outside from other parts of the fen, and the robin would take it back to the nest and start building it. So yeah, it's still in that nest building phase, but yeah, I totally passed by it on my way, my first loop around the entire wetland, and I didn't even see it. Didn't even pay no mind to it as I was building on this honey locust tree. So that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool moment just to see that. But I didn't really feel like it was worthwhile to take any shots potentially, just because the lighting has already gotten pretty harsh by this point. And I just didn't want to disturb the nest, of course. So I'll leave it at that. But it's still a pretty cool moment. Actually, right after that, on my way out of the fen, as I did my one last loop, I got a few on the power lines that are right along the edges here. Are great for being like bird perches, especially for like the red-winged blackbirds and such. But I saw the Song Sparrow that was just perched right above my head, pretty much. Nice blue sky, pretty clean background, so I dropped it real out of focus, so it's quite a distance away from that power line. And so I got a handful of shots of that Song Sparrow just perched on there. It's not a natural perch, of course, which would be more desirable in this case, but I still liked it all the same. And it was pretty nice to get a few shots of it with its mouth agape, and it was singing its common song. So that's pretty much all I got really for photography speaking. But still a nice morning out, nice pleasant morning here in spring, and it's only going to roll out better and better from here on out with just tons more wildflowers, of course, at places like this and other kind of similar habitat, and of course all the birds and stuff. So tons of warblers coming up here soon, here in spring. So I'm trying to keep a good mindset for this location and just beyond, that it's not a failure just because I didn't get any photographs really, or at least anything that is really portfolio worthy. But it's just a nice morning out, and you get to just observe the wildlife, and you take away something from each trip. I think it's not always going to be a photograph they take away from, but it's going to be just knowledge and experiences and memories and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's the takeaway from this trip here. But yeah, I enjoyed it. So and I hope you did too, of course. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. This has been Donnybrook Park. Until next time, make sure to get out here. Thank you.